Hi, I'm Bobbie from Bobbie M from Massachusetts, Eastern Coast, obviously. And first of all, I want to thank Jerry for asking me to speak today. This is really a really interesting topic, and I'm really happy that I qualify to be here. I give you a little background. I wish I had my pictures, but I don't to show you. But I will tell you 25 years ago, I just celebrated 25 years in program on March. Well, actually, March 8th is when I came in of 2000, but I got a sponsor March 25th and started working the program the way it's laid out for me on March 26th. When I came into program, I will give you, so you can imagine, this is an imagined thing because I don't have a picture of me. Unless I made a circle with a big giant bottom circle on it, then you'd see. I'm 4 foot 11 and, well, 4 foot 11 and a half, I guess, something like that. 4 foot 11. And I weighed 260 pounds when I walked in here. I am pear shaped. As my father said when I was young, you're shaped like these gymnasts, like Olga Corbett was, and those kind of Mary Lou Retton, those people. So I am a little bit more, a little junk in my, a lot of junk in my trunk, is what, as they say. And, you know, and there's not a lot of space. So 260 pounds. I weighed more than Tom Brady and some other football players, and they're got 2 feet on me. So there's where I was. You can imagine my rear end was as big as a barn door, and my top though. So I always fooled myself because I only looked up from here. So I have been on both sides of this disease as a teenager. I was used to put my finger down my throat, but stopped that really quick. From the time I was 13 till I was 25, I was a restrictor, and kept my weight like right around the 110 at the time, and had a look back at those pictures, and I had a really cute shape, but well, I grew up at a time when you were supposed to look like a 14-year-old boy with boobs, not a girl with a shape. So I always thought I was fat, always thought, hated my body since I was 11 years old, to tell you the truth. So I suffered body dysmorphia. And then about 25, came out of school, college, and life was not the way I expected it to be. And I have realized that food was my symptom. That's the symptom, or like whatever the pain is. My real problem was that life, I don't know how to deal with life on life terms. No, I not even, I don't know how to deal. I don't want to deal with life on life's terms. So anyways, uh my weight started just going up exponentially. I'm going to jump ahead till I think I was 41, maybe 40, 41. I think it was my 40th birthday. Went to my doctor, maybe a little bit after that. I went to my doctor, and she took my, this is God's funny sense of humor. The woman was starting her own practice, so she was open to taking primary care for people, PCPs, as we call them. So I took her, and she turned out to be a cardiologist. She took my blood pressure that day. It was 200 and something over 150. And she said to me, I don't care what you do, but your family history is far too frightening for you to be fooling around with this. You'll be dead by the time you're 45 if you don't do something. And she said it in such a nice way that it wasn't like the other doctor that I went to many, many years before, or a year before, that said to me, "What's the matter with you? Why are you so, excuse me, sorry, why are you so fat?" Well, let me tell you. Of course, what did I do after that doctor said the mean thing to me, and in a mean way? First of all, I thought, what a bitch. But I also said to myself, I'll fix you. And I went up the street to a place that had some really good, yummy, yummy things for me to have. I'll show you. Let me shove my face full of crap. I am a sugar addict. I call myself a food addict because that's what I am, but I am really a hardcore sugar addict. So I jump ahead. I was in another 12-step program at the time, and somebody came there and broke their anonymity. Now, I had heard about OA. I went to one a long time meeting with a friend before, but I thought those people were kind of weird because they were eating during the meeting. They were eating salads, and I'm thinking, oh, what's this about? But anyways, you're not ready till you're ready, and that's the truth. You're not ready till you're ready. And by that time, I had the gift of desperation. The person broke their anonymity. And the next week, on March on 8th, was a Wednesday night. I went to a meeting in Waltham, Mass. We had two meetings then, and they both had like it was a Monday and a Wednesday. Notice how fast I really wanted to get there because Friday the woman told me about the meetings, and I waited till Wednesday, you know. And I ate until I got up there, and then I came home that night, asked God to take away the compulsion of mine to eat sugar. I didn't get the no sugar, no flour thing. I fell into the 90-day community. I had no idea that there was any other way to work program. I went into that Waltham meeting. There were 60 people at that meeting. And some people that are in this workshop right now were at that first meeting I ever went to. And people just, I cried through the meeting. So that's my first action. My first action was to give myself that gift to walk into a meeting and say, I've had it. I came for the steps. I didn't come for the vanity because, honest to God, I didn't think I could lose that. I lost 130 pounds in this program. And I, honest to God, when you're weighing what I weighed, I don't know if anybody else can relate to this. I never, ever thought I could lose that weight. So I was just going to get the step work because I knew that's where the answers were. I knew that that would help me deal. And so that's what I came for. I wanted to unlock the little girl that used to feel super confident, the teenager, although I, like I said, had my own food issues then, even, you know, starving, so I could get my sugar fix, you know, not letting my food touch each other, else I'd be vomiting. So, you know, so now I'm on the other end of this, of the food the eating disorder spectrum. I'm an overeater. And so I went, my first meeting went there, and I did not get a sponsor immediately. No, I did it. Not because I didn't want one. I don't even know if anybody stood up. I was just taking it all in. Went home that night, got on my knees and said, God, please take away this, my compulsion of mine to eat sugar. And it had to be something bigger than me because I have not had sugar in my body since March 8th of 2000. Um, I went to the meeting later on, and I went to the Wednesday night meeting. Then I went to the Monday night meeting, and I went to a meeting almost every single night because luckily for us, we had these huge 90-day meetings all around me. So I could go to a meeting every single night. And I'm telling you, they were like hundreds of people. I went to a meeting at Newton Wellesley Hospital, and there was close to 200 people at that meeting. And I went to a meeting at the old Medford, at the old Lawrence Memorial Hospital. And there was 200, standing room only, people lined up against the walls, sitting down. And I've just been gifted that's what I fell into. I went to these meetings and I got myself a sponsor. As my next action. I went and got myself a sponsor. And there was these ladies standing up, and both ladies, I really wanted one lady. Oh, but she had a million people around her. So I took the other lady. And the reason that they appealed to me, this action, was the fact that they were going through some serious stuff. And yet they were abstinent. Yet they had their hair done, their makeup done. They look thin, and they're going through serious stuff. And I thought, I want me some of that because they're dealing with life. And that's what I need to be able to do. And look, my God, something's right. I thought I was in the wrong place when I first went to a meeting because everybody was thin. And I'm like, well, where are the biggies? You know, there were a couple of us. So I go to that meeting. So it was my other big thing that I did. And then I got a sponsor. And the day that I got my sponsor, I went to go pick up my mom. My dad was already in a nursing home. He had Parkinson's disease. And my mom, had some issues too. And she was, when I got to pick her to go meet her, the ambulances were there, the police were there, and everybody, and the fire engines. And my mother had been rushed to the hospital. I had taken her to the doctor the day before with renal failure, and didn't know she was going to make it, and all that stuff. And I had gotten a sponsor, like I said. She told me to call her the next day, which was a Sunday, to call her at 7 a.m. And again, it has to be God. Because what a great excuse for a food addict to not do something. Like, it's not a really good time. Mom's almost dying, whatever. Man, I better not start this new thing I want to do. But I did. And she had given me this food plan, called her the next day, and I started my program that day. March 26th, I ate exactly what she said. No sugar, no flour. I weighed and measured 3 meals, and I dealt with life, and I dealt with a really difficult thing. So from there, the next step, so that was another action. I made my phone calls. They told me to call all these people. They told me to do this. All the tools, I did them. I did them because, and I went to a meeting every single night almost. I went to a meeting. If I didn't run over and see dad, or if I did, even if I did, there was a meetings right near my dad was. So I'd go to that meeting or go see daddy and then go to the meeting. Go see mom, go to the meeting. And mom got through that. They had to put her on dialysis. So she had to go to a nursing home too, but couldn't be in the same one that dad was in because they only take so many people. So I also then, my sponsor told me the next thing I had to do was to join this 12-step, closed 12-step meeting to study the steps. Did not feel like doing it at the time because I'm like, I got a lot on my plate. But you know what? I wanted what they had. And so I went ahead and followed those instructions. So I went and did that. And during that time, so now it's 4 months after mom died, before mom was in the hospital. My mother died 4 months from the time. So I came and got abstinent on March 26th. Mom passed away July 23rd. And I did exactly the actions were when mom died. I made OA phone calls. I called my sponsor immediately. Then I called everybody else, just people in general. I had my 90 days so I could get up and share. And then my dad and my mom, I did not eat over any of that. It took me 2.5 hours to eat a meal one time, my dinner one night, because it was the hardest thing I've done, which is for an addict not to want to eat. Of course, don't forget, I have both sides of this disease, but I did exactly what I was supposed to do. And my dad died 6 months after that. Oh, in the meantime, the first sponsor I got, she broke her abstinence. So I sat there and I'm like, who do I trust with my life? And I made a phone call to somebody else and they become my sponsor. And I know it sounds dramatic, but that's how I felt at the time. And she saw me through the death of my father and the breakup of a relationship I had, which I thought he was my last chance, but it would have been selling my soul. I was another addict. Addicts attract addicts. And so all those things, those were what I did. The actions were every day doing my phone calls, all the things I was supposed to do. Then the other thing I did uh, was the other action I did at that point. Oh, by that time, I've been encouraged to do jobs, take on jobs at service positions. Service is huge for me. That's one of my biggest action things I do. And so the other day I was someplace and they said, we describe ourselves sometimes as service junkies. I don't know if that's really true. I just know that I need to stay inside the pack because the wildebeest that are on the outside of the pack or moving slow are the ones that get eaten by the lions. I need to stay inside. So I don't want to be picked off. And so let's see. After that, I did my first job was I think my first job was like key holder, and I thought that was the bomb until I got, I did that for a long time, but that was fun. Then I was secretary. Then I was, whatever jobs were at that level. I've done them all. I was encouraged to get. Then that sponsor had I don't know if they left or they had a break. So then I got another sponsor, which I've had now for pretty much my whole rest of my time here. And then what happened to me was what else did I do? Oh, so I took all these jobs. Oh, my sponsor encouraged me to do intergroup level. And so I did that. I started it at one point and I wasn't too thrilled. There was a lot of infighting going on, so I did not go. And then I went back to that and I got involved in intergroup and I had like the corresponding secretary job and that kind of thing. And we had a blast. We had a wicked fun time doing intergroup. Then I kind of did that for a little bit and I stopped that and just went back. And then I had a little bit of a never sugar or flour, but my program started to erode, just like the coast of the Cape Cod up here or any coast starts to erode. It doesn't look the same as it did 20 years ago or whatever. So I what happened was no sugar, no flour. But all of a sudden, it got to be a great idea in my head to go out well on a busy day. So I think I better have lunch out and
Five
dinner out.
minutes.
And thank you. And then it became, why don't I have, all my meals out? And the next thing you know, my weight has gone up. So I had to restart my program. And then I had a different sponsor at that time. And because I thought I needed somebody a little bit tougher. And that person got me involved in region level stuff, going to region. And recently, I've just become the Region 6 board secretary. And I have a back to my other sponsor. I know this is very confusing. I hate to confuse everybody, but I have the sponsor I have now for like 12 years, so or 14 years. So I am now, like I said, involved in region. I just had our big region assembly, and that was a scary thing to do. Oh, I also went back to school because I only have a few minutes left, so I want to let you know because I've always wanted to be a school teacher. It's all I ever wanted to be since I was 9 years old, and Prop 2.5 came through with Reaganomics, not to talk about politics, but thank you very much. But there was no teaching jobs when I came out in 1981. So on him. But anyway, sorry. Um, so I fell into the business world. And then when I came into program, people were talking about going back to school and changing jobs. And I decided to step out on faith and I became a TA so I could see if I still liked it. And then I went and got my master's in special education. I had been working for the last probably 15 years teaching this last 11 years, currently 11 years at the same place. I am a special education science teacher, and I absolutely love my job. And I know I'm running out of time, but yeah, I love my job. So, but I was scared to do that. I was 48 years old going back to change I was working as a TA. Unfortunately, TAs don't make the money they really deserve to make. They really don't. That's the sad thing. They're such an incredibly important part of a school system, especially as a classroom teacher, for a classroom teacher. But anyways, I went back and I was 48, and I was kind of scared. Of course, I had to take student loans out, but that's okay because another thing kind of underwrote part of it. And I was like, who's going to hire me if I get out at 50? But you know what? School systems want to do somebody because of life experience. In I work right now in a small private special ed school that most of my students are on the spectrum. They're Asperger's or autistic, students, very bright, some of them. Some of them are lower cognitively. We have some kids that are dyslexic. That's what we do. We teach reading there also. And my students are seventh graders through high school. I teach science for high school. I have 2 biology classes and 2 tech engineering classes I do. Um, uh, but I love my job. Even the days when those kids are getting on my last good nerve, I tell them, lucky I like you because you're hanging on my last good nerve. And they laugh. It's really a wonderful place, the best place I've ever worked. I've been in public schools, never again. And not that there's anything the matter with them. I just had not the best experience. I love my job. I love program. I 12-step my kids all day long. We had a situation a couple of weeks ago that something was announced that was a political thing, and my kids came in so scared that they were going to have to leave our school. Was I going to have to lose my job? Blah, blah, blah. And immediately I just said to them, you know what we're going to do? Because it sounds like we're all pretty upset. Let's just quiet. Let's sit, close our eyes. We're going to deep breathe and let out. Deep breathe, let out. And I said, you know what else I do? I say this thing called the serenity prayer when I'm feeling bad. And I didn't use the God word, don't worry. Nobody would have cared anyways where I am. So we did that. And then I said to them, and for today, let's keep it in today. We are all safe. We're all fine. And they calmed right down. So I got 24 seconds. I just want to say thank you so much. I'm sure I'm missing things that I can tell you that I do, but I write an action plan every day too. I really do. I do that. I forgot to say that in the beginning. I write my food down. I write what I'm going to do, quiet time, my phone calls, all the things I have to do. And my time is up. So thank you. I hope I made some sense. And when it stops recording, I'll give you my phone number.